Hello guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use functions in Arduino. So here is this code right here, and the first thing in this code is we go ahead and set up the serial monitor right here because I'm going to be using the serial monitor to demonstrate how functions work. But we don't do anything else in the void setup, and so we go ahead and go straight to the void loop. Okay, and so in here this is how we call a function. So we just do the function name, then parentheses, and then colon, and I'll call it the function. So this is the first function we're going to talk about. There's other functions down here, but they change a little bit based on what you're trying to do with them. So this is the function we are talking about right here, this function. Don't worry about these functions down here. These are different. I'm going to explain to you what these are, but first I want to go ahead and explain what this function is doing. So basically this function is if you want to run a certain code. Okay, so basically in this case, in this function, all we have is we just have one line of code, and that is serial.println. This is Arduino. So basically, whenever we call this function right here, which is up here, we go and do this code. Okay, whatever code that's in between these two parentheses of this function is going to be ran whenever you call this name. And so to define this function, you just do void the name, parentheses, and then the curly brackets. So every single time we call this name right here, we only get this is Arduino on the serial monitor. So that's the first thing. This function is just for if you just want to run a specific thing of code. That's it. And this is usually a good thing to do when you're trying to organize code, or when there's a specific thing of code that you're running more than once in different cases in your code. Then that would be good to put it in a function so you don't have to duplicate that code multiple times in your actual code. You can just put in a function, and whenever you need to run that code, you just call this name. That's what's so useful about a function. So now we'll go to the next function, and this function right here has somewhat the same name as print msg2, but then we put something in the brackets. So you may wonder, okay, we could just run a specific thing of code in a function, but what ends up happening is that sometimes we want to give some type of value to a function. So let's say we want the function to turn on an LED, a certain brightness, okay? So how do we give that function that value of how bright we want the LED to be? Well, we can pass it in like this right here. So this is called a parameter. These are values that you give to the function to do things with. So whenever we pass a parameter to it, we put it in the parentheses. And so down here, this is it right here. This is the function. And so as you can see, it's some of the same thing. We call it with void, and then we give it its name, the function its name, and then we do string name. So this is for setting up the parameter that we will be getting. So why do we do string here? String is what value it's going to be, what data type is going to be. In this case, right up here, it's a string, as you can see. Okay, so the function needs to know what value type it's going to be receiving. And then we give name. This is going to be where this parameter right here is going to be put so that we can use it in this function. So this is the variable that the string Tim will be stored in. It's going to be stored into name. Okay, and so that's how we pass a parameter to a function. And so now we can go ahead and we do serial.print hello, my name is. And so now we'll go to the next line, and we're going to do serial.print name. And so now we'll go ahead and print the value that the function has received from the void loop. Okay, right here. So now we'll go ahead and print name. And now it should print, hello, my name is Tim, because we're not going to the next line. We're not doing ln because we're just doing print. Okay, so we're not doing print ln, so it's going to be right next to it. And then we go and do serial.print ln. So now we're going to go to the next line after we print this dot. So we'll just make it a period. So that's what this function is going to do. It's going to print, hello, my name is Tim on the serial monitor, with us passing the name as a parameter to the function. So we just pass this value to the function. So now it's going to get that in here, and it's going to go ahead and print it out. So now we're going to go to the next function, and this one is a little bit different. So let's say you want to pass a parameter to the function, but you also want the function to give you a certain value. So for example, let's say you're trying to read a sensor. Well, when the function is reading the sensor, it has to give you back that value that it got from the sensor. So how do we do that? So first thing is I also have this function so that you can send a parameter to it. So you can also send a parameter, and you can also receive a value from the function all together. So that's what I have here. I just sent it a parameter, which is John, And then as you can see right here, we set the name. We just did the exact same thing as right here. Basically, we just changed the name and the parameter and also the name by MSG3. But now we're doing MSG equals the function. So this is how we pass values from this, okay? And this is also going to be a string. MSG is going to be a string. So let me just first explain how we do this in here. So this is the function right here. So in this function, we are no longer doing void. To say that this is a function or to say that we are setting up a function, we do void. But in this case, now we are doing string. And so the reason why we do this is whenever the function is returning a value, we have to set this up with what that returning value is going to be. So that data type or that variable type is going to be a string, because right here MSG is a string. So let's say you are returning an integer like a number, then you put int here, not string. And then the same thing here, whatever data type the function is receiving also has to be put right here. So that's very important. And so I'm going to go ahead and explain these two lines of code. And so we just do string MSG, define MSG, and then we do equals, I don't think this is supposed to be here, I don't know why that's there, equals hello, my name is, plus name, plus dot. So basically what we're doing here is we're just putting this whole phrase, hello, my name is, and then we are adding right here, we're adding a string, the string name, which is in this case John, because that's what we passed as a parameter to this function, to this name variable. And so it's going to be John, so we're going to add the string John to hello, my name is. So when you add a string, the string is just put next to it. So basically it becomes all one string. So it's going to be now, hello, my name is John, plus dot. So we're going to also add the period at the end as well. And so then after this is all added, this MSG will be holding a string of hello, my name is John. After that, then it's going to go ahead and return that value to MSG right here. So whenever we are trying to get a value back from a function up here, we need to make the variable that we want to put this value in, that the function is giving us, make it equal to the function name, the function right here. And so then after that, we just go ahead and print MSG. We're going to print MSG outside of the function. So to print MSG outside the function, we need the function to give us the value. And so that's done right here with return. This tells us that the function is done. Give this value back to where we have called it, which is right here. And go ahead and put it in MSG, since MSG is equal to the function print MSG3. So after we print it, then we just delay and we just do this code over and over again. So now we'll go ahead and run this code, and each function should print out what are meant to print. So the first function is going to print hello, this is Arduino. So if we have hello, this is Arduino on the serial monitor, then this function has worked. If we see hello, my name is Tim on the serial monitor, then we know the function print MSG2 has worked. And then if we see hello, my name is John on the serial monitor, then we know print MSG3 has worked. And so now we'll go ahead and run our code and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. And then we'll go ahead and open the serial monitor. And as you can see, this is Arduino. Hello, my name is Tim. Hello, my name is John. Basically, these three functions have done their job and they work properly. So basically, those are the functions. And so if you like this video, consider giving this video a like. If you have any questions, comment down below, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all and have a good day.